Parent, have you ever wondered why it is so hard for your teenager or young adult kid engage in activities or tasks that are boring and tedious? Things such as doing homework, reading books, studying for exams, doing chores in the house, piano practice, sport practice, so on and so forth. Why do our children constantly avoid such activities and constantly procrastinating on doing them? So in this video, I will share with you a very important psychological principle that can help you understand why our children keep doing and avoiding such tedious and boring tasks. And I will also show you what you can do about this so that your kid will be motivated to engage in boring but essential tasks without you constantly reminding them, nagging them, and engaging in this battle with your kid. Okay, if this is what you are interested in learning more about, this specific concept, please keep watching. So who am I to discuss this topic? My name is Dr. AI. I'm an award-winning former college professor turned life coach. I have been working with young people for more than 2 decades. I specialize in serving teenagers and young adults, helping them overcome a few major life challenges, such as procrastination, no motivation, screen addiction, self-doubt, no self-confidence. I also help them enhance their executive functioning skills so that those young people can reclaim and elevate their confidence, their motivation, and achieve success in school and beyond, regardless of their current challenges. And I'm really excited about today's topic. So let's dive in. So what is this theory that I was talking about earlier to help you understand why our children always want to avoid tasks that are tedious and boring? So this psychological principle is actually called, are you ready? Boring but important effect. Yes. So this is actually based on research article. Let me share the article with you. So this is the research article. The research article has a super long title. You don't even need to read the whole part. Just the first part that I highlighted for you, which is boring but important. So this is the concept we're going to discuss here. Boring but important. So what is this boring but important effect? So here is the definition. So in this study, they actually in this research, they studied students and separated the students into different groups. And they discovered, in order for us to achieve success in life, many of the tasks that our children need to do are actually quite tedious, boring, repetitive, and not exciting at all, right? Especially in the context of social media, Netflix, Snapchat, YouTube, TikTok, in the context of so many exciting distractions, and many of the things that our children need to do in order to achieve school success and real life success are very repetitive, extremely tedious, extremely repetitive, and quite boring. So after they studied the different groups of students, and they discovered the students, let me share this with you. The students who had a clear sense of purpose, they are more likely to persist longer with boring but important tasks. So this sentence here reminds me of one of my favorite quotes from Albert Einstein. So he said that, "I'm not smart. I just stay with problems longer." So one of the common challenges that I observe in lots of young people is that they give up too easily. They don't even stay with problems longer. As soon as there's a problem, they stop working on the problem, right? That's why, what I'm about to say is unrelated to the video, but I still want to share with you. I think as a parent, we have to be really intentional at building our children's tolerance for discomfort. Because in this day and age, everything has become so much easier, and we're so used to that constant gratification. But in real life, many things we do not get that constant gratification. Like I'm recording this video right now. There's no audience in front of me. You're not watching this video right now. Once I publish the video, it is going to be in a few days. And I have no idea if you are going to enjoy the video or not. And I hope the answer is yes. So the point is that there's a long delay until I receive that reward, that dopamine. Oh, wow, people really love my video. But because for lots of young people, they're so used to that instant gratification. So when things get a little bit harder, like, I don't want to do this. So something that I do with my own biological children, I have 3 boys, on a daily basis, I want to help them build up their tolerance for discomfort. Just like we build up their confidence, their resilience, and it is my goal as their mom to help them build their tolerance for discomfort. And at this point in my professional career, I served almost 3,000 young people. And I truly believe a young person's success is not in direct correlation to their GPA academic performance, but a young person's success is actually based on their tolerance for discomfort, failures, rejections in life. So the more they can tolerate discomfort, failures, rejections, the more likely a young person is to have real life long-term success. So there's that. Yeah. And so those young people who actually have a stronger sense of purpose, they actually stay with problems longer. And I can so relate. When I was doing my dissertation, when I was working on my PhD, it was a boring process. But because it was so important for me to get the degree, so I stayed in my program. In my program, there were people who give up. There were people who quit working on their dissertation because it was too much. And there was life. Things happen. They couldn't finish. But because I have a clear sense of purpose, that I stayed with the entire boring and tedious and intense journey. So here, let me read more of this for you. So this one, the study, boring but important effect. And so here you can see here, and many learning tasks feel very uninteresting, boring, and tedious. That is probably the journey your children are going through right now. They have to work on their math homework. They have to work on their physics exam. They have to go through internship application. They have to go through job application. Whatever they need to do, many of those tasks are quite tedious and boring. And so here's the second part. The students, those young people who actually had a stronger sense of purpose, they actually stayed with the problems longer than the young people who didn't have a clear sense of purpose, kind of what I mentioned here. So oftentimes I say, right, so many parents, they come to me, hey, Dr. My kid has a motivation crisis. My kid has a procrastination problem. But you know what? Please pay attention to what I'm about to share with you because it is very important. Your kid does not have a motivation crisis. Your kid, this is so slow. Sorry. Your kid does not have a motivation crisis. Your kid does have a future vision crisis. They don't understand the why. Why am I doing my PhD? Why am I working on my dissertation? It is so much more fun to watch Netflix. It is so much more fun to play my video games. It is so much more fun to do nothing or chat with my friend through Snapchat. Why do I want to do this? So this is what I discovered after working with so many young people. When I asked them why you didn't do your homework, their response is, what's the point? I don't see myself pursuing a career in mathematics. I don't see myself pursuing a career in engineering. So why do I have to do the homework right now? Which is a great question. And I also agree the current education system has flaws. But for many young people, this is what I share with them. You have to follow the rule of the game in order to succeed in the system. Right? So this is the reason. And I'm going to use two different books to share with you why having this future vision is so important. Because without understanding the why, the important reason or the why or the future vision, it is almost impossible to engage in boring tasks. Because our brain is amazing. Our brain is designed to inspire you to seek pleasure and avoid pain. If a potential task make you feel so much pain, your brain will tell you, please don't do it. Right? So I had this conversation with a student, I think last week during a coaching call, and she is in the middle of doing her job search. And she said that, so we're talking about a concept called habit loop. But anyway, and so in our conversation, we're talking about, hey, after you complete the task, you need to give yourself some sort of reward. So her reward is going outside, because I know she hates going outside. I was like, so why are you punishing yourself? Because if you are conditioning your brain every time after I apply to a job, I'm going to go outside. So in a way, your brain is like, I don't want to apply to jobs. Why? Because if I finish applying to this job, there is a punishment waiting for me, which is going outside. To me, going outside is a reward, but to her, going outside is punishment. So we really worked on that so that by the time she finishes a job application, there is actually a reward waiting for her as opposed to a punishment. But I can understand she told me to go outside, which is something that she needs to do, but she doesn't really want to do, right? So there's that. I forgot why am I mentioning this, but anyway, but I'm not, like, many of my videos are not perfect. I totally agree. But you know what? I want to use my video as a source of inspiration, maybe not so much for you, but for your children, because many of the students I work with are such perfectionists. Some of them, they even feel like I don't want to submit my homework because my homework is not perfect enough. There's no perfection. Perfection is an illusion. So I want to share with my students, and please share this message with your children. You don't have to be perfect to be successful, right? This is a work in progress. I'm definitely not perfect, but I have achieved success. So anyway, I forgot why I was talking about that. But yeah, so I'm going to use two reasons to support this. Why it is so important to have that future vision. Without the future vision, your kid is never ever going to engage in boring tasks, even though the tasks are really important. So the very first one is I want to use this book to explain to you. So this is one of my favorite books. Titled Drive by Daniel Pink. And so in this book, Drive, he identified 3 core elements for drive: autonomy, mastery, and purpose. So purpose is one of the most important ones, which is the important reason, which is the future, right? So unless you have a sense of purpose, you are not going to engage in boring tasks. Like cleaning the room, right? Cleaning the room is very important to us as a mom, as a dad, as a parent. Maybe it is not so important to your kid because they're like, what's the point? So unless they see the purpose behind a clean room, they're not going to do this boring and tedious and repetitive task, okay? So drive, right? The same thing can be applied to homework. I have lots of students in my coaching program. They want to be like entrepreneurs, business people, work in real estate, have their own company, doctors, practice law, attorney, so many, those amazing careers, nurses, amazing options. So this is their future vision is what I leverage when I coach them to help them engage in boring and tedious tasks. When those young people just started working with me, they don't have that, which is kind of sad. What I discovered is that lots of young people today, they don't even have dreams, aspirations anymore. Like, what do you want to do when you grow up? Like, in a few years, like, they were like, I don't know. But when I was young as 8 years old, I had an idea what I wanted to do. But even though I'm definitely not doing that, however, having that future vision can be so powerful, make your day-to-day life so much more meaningful, right? So having this sense of purpose can really inspire us to do the boring task, to show up for the chemistry class, knowing that this class will make me the doctor I want to be, to show up for that debate club, knowing that this debate club will really help me become the attorney that I want to become. So unless there's that, I don't want to do the thing that I don't want to do. So the second reason I want to share with you to discuss the importance of future vision. And in other words, your kid doesn't have a motivation crisis, but a future vision crisis is from this book. So this is actually one of my favorite books that I revisit almost every year in January. So this book is about creativity. This book is about productivity. And so even though the book is about productivity, so many pages of this book are devoted to the importance of having a future vision. The clearer that future vision is, the easier the decision-making process is in the present moment. When you really know what you want to do in the future, you can easily say yes to the things you need to do, say no to the distractions. Like for me, I have such a clear vision regarding what I want to do, how I want my coaching business to grow, how I want my students to grow. That vision is so clear that every day I'm just like so fired up regarding, even though the task can be boring, like my YouTube channel. Do I have to restart my YouTube channel? Absolutely not. I'm doing good without the channel. So the reason I want to start this is because I want to reach out to more people. This is my life's calling. So this clear vision is inspiring me to engage in a pretty tedious video recording process. Like I'm recording this video right now, but by the time you watch my video, that is going to be 5 days later, right? So I have to wait for quite a long time to know if you are going to enjoy my video or not. Does this make sense? Blah, blah, blah. It is a pretty exhausting, tedious, maybe not boring, but tedious and repetitive, and can be unexciting, especially the part when I create my thumbnail, edit the video, right? But the reason I will not give up, the reason is because I'm so emotionally connected to my future vision. So I want to read to you one of my favorite sentences from this book. So here is the paragraph. So here, this is the page. Give me a second. Thank you for your patience. In order to achieve a level of performance that is greater than your current performance, you will need a vision of the future that is bigger than the present reality. You must find a vision with which you are emotionally connected, kind of what we discussed earlier, right? Without a compelling vision, you will discover there's no reason to go through the pain of change. There's no reason to go through the pain of doing your chemistry homework unless you want to be a doctor, unless there's a strong reason, right? Or you want to maintain a really strong academic performance so that you can get into a good university, scholarship, whatever. So it is so important that you have that reason. Otherwise, you have no desire to go through the pain of change. And so in my coaching program, I have a 5-phase process. The very first phase in my coaching program is all about clarity. Because how important this clarity is. This clarity is really what I leverage when I coach my students to do the things they don't want to do, but are really important to their future. Right, so my clarity phase has the internal clarity, understanding who am I, the external clarity, that future vision. So I really love this paragraph. And for many of your children or your kid, you are for the parent watching this right now. If you discover that your kid is not doing the boring task, it's because they do not see the why, the vision behind this task. And I'll use my own son as an example. He is 13 years old right now, and he has a really big vision for his fencing practice. He's a fencer. He loves fencing. So because he has a big vision, of course, I'm his coach. Every day, this is what I share with him. And he is actually every day getting up in the morning. I spend 1 hour doing physical training and practice fencing without me constantly nagging him or reminding him. He will actually put the thing in his own planner. The next day, he will be doing that. So to me, that is amazing. So the action will be a byproduct of that vision. Okay, action is a byproduct of the vision. The clearer the vision, the easier it is the action. Wow, that is good. Yes. Anyway, so I hope you are enjoying this. If you are interested in having your teenager or young adult kid work with me one-on-one to discover their future vision, what is their reason for being, what is their goal, what is their dream, what is their vision for the future, so that they can keep showing up in life, so that they can keep doing the things they don't want to do, but they have to do in order to advance their goals. So in the description box, and I have lots of exercises, frameworks in my coaching package to help a young person gain that clarity. Dozens of exercises. And so if you are interested in having your teenager or young adult work with me one-on-one, to help them overcome procrastination, reclaim, elevate their confidence, motivation, and success. So use the link in the description box to book a complimentary consultation with me. Apply. So I will be the person reviewing your application. If your application is approved, you and I will have a Zoom conversation. Yes, you and I will have a one-on-one Zoom conversation. So in that conversation, I will listen to you talking about your children's challenges, give you customized feedback. So in my coaching package, I have a A to Z framework, but every kid is different. It's not like a class. You don't have to learn everything. I will only coach your kid based on their challenges. It is a highly customized coaching package. Okay, so apply and book a complimentary consultation with me. I'm also very excited to share with you. I have an upcoming 5-day free challenge that I will go a lot deeper on many of the things that I discuss on my YouTube channel. And I will also share with you my entire framework, the 5-phase process. I will teach you my entire framework to help a young person overcome their challenges, reclaim and elevate their confidence, motivation, and success. Okay, so the complimentary, the challenge is free at the time of the recording, but will not forever be free. If you are interested, in the link in the description box, there's a link for you to register for the 5-day free challenge. Last but not least, if you enjoy this video, I highly recommend you check out this video here to learn 2 additional ways that you can implement today to help motivate your unmotivated teenager or young adult. So that is a really good training. And I share 2 additional tested and proven ways that you can apply today to help your kid reclaim their motivation. So check it out. Last but not least, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for supporting my mission behind the YouTube channel. I'm here to inform and empower you. And I really appreciate your support. Thank you so much. And I will see you in the next video. Bye!